Hello. Let me just go live on IG. Hi, everybody. How are you? How was your weekend? Carol, Evie, Marie, JJ, Beth, Darren, Arlene, Angel Star, Eliz, Z, Pinayonce, Evie, Bianca from Cali with Love, Carol, Beth, Dawn Marie, Kathleen, Fire Butterfly, Beth Davidson, Joe, Melanie, Amy, MJD, Yovan, Curb Hitter from Cali and Curb. Whenever I see your nickname now, I kind of imagine you driving because that's what you said. MLB, Cindy, Arlene, Leah, Fairy Lane, your Dear Yungi letter was amazing. Thank you. I also cried while I was writing that. I actually had to reread it three times, I think, because I couldn't voice it properly because I was crying. Where am I? Halina. Did I skip someone? Lara, maayong adlaw. What's maayong adlaw? Magandang gabi, umaga. Um, Evie, where am I? AG, Fire Butterfly is on Twitch. Orchid, Vi Heart, Lorena. I am Claudia. Dodger Girl is also on Twitch. Amy, Personal Space, Bianca, Michelle Santiago, BTS 7 plus 1, TLT, Winky, Edra, Raquel, Sugar D, Evangeli Lily, Kathleen Rhea, OSP, Nigma, Juveline, Lindsay, okay. Arlene, I think if I'm skipping you, it's because I think I've already read your name. Sinri, Patty, Misosu. Oh wait, what did I do? Misosu. Who else? Carla Girl, Thea Cambo. I think I'm okay to go live and okay. All right. We're live on IG. Anne, Z, Beth Davidson, Roxani, Gemini, Bedon, Iliwin, Chansey. Hi. How is everybody? How was your weekend? It's been a good day. It's been a good week. It's been a good week for me ever since BTS came back. Just knowing that they are free and done with whatever obligation they have in the military. Well, kinda, they still need to go back. So after serving, you are still on call for 7 years. So they still need to report to the military. I guess some sort of a health check-in. They still need to report to the military once or twice a year or something like that, and they do that for the next 7 years. And then in that 7 years, they can still be called back for service for whatever reason. So if there's like a war or something, they can still be required to serve. And yeah, so but at least they don't have to like be in the barracks or something. At least they're done with that. Okay, let me just close all of my windows so that we don't run into any issue. Yeah, similar in the States. So the kind of done in the sense that they don't have to be in the barracks, but they're still on call for 7 years and they do like regular health checkup. So they still need to, it's their kind of responsibility to stay fit and things like that. So yeah, I think in the next 7 years things are gonna be okay. Evie, Fairly, and I enjoyed your video for the letter you wrote for Sugar's letter who wrote on Weavers. Thank you. Yeah, I also cried voicing it, writing it, and voicing it. So I had to do it like 3 times because I couldn't get it. I couldn't finish it. Hi, Sherlock. Well, it's your lucky day. Still drowned with J-Hope's abs from all the music shows last week and rewatching Hot's final PCD will be a long journey. Should the snooze makes me Okay, yeah. So we're gonna be talking about Suga's donation. It's a huge thing, and it's actually not that we know that we he said already in the past that he wanted to be a therapist. I just didn't know what I didn't expect that he was going to go to this route. I thought he was just going to be like a counselor or something. But I guess this is one route, or probably he's still going to do that or something. I don't know, but this is definitely a good start for him, and I'm very proud of Armies because people are actually trying to match his contribution. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Beth, you cried. Well, I cried voicing it too and writing it. We get Jin live in 4 days. Oh my god, armies are so funny on X. So I heard about I haven't actually been on Weaver since yesterday, but I heard about the guidelines that they issued to armies that are going to attend the Weaver the concert. And apparently, like they'll be given a poncho, whether regardless of the weather, they're gonna be given a poncho. I guess they're gonna get wet, and I don't know. This is like, is this like ninja warriors you're gonna go to and not a concert? What is the poncho for? So I guess he's planning on something. So whoever gets the barricade and the floor, congratulations, they're gonna have a lot of fun. We just have to wait. What I would suggest is wait. We don't know if he will be able to pull it off in the same excuse me, in the same way in all the venues, because I know in Korea the venue is actually exterior, so that might be possible, but we don't know what he's going to be doing when it's inside. So all of his venues in the US will be interior. So I won't get to watch the first shows this time. Oh, why not? You and your shoes are going to be driving in boots. I won't be walking on them. A Ranjin episode. No one suspected Ron Jin was actually water bomb Sokjin. It could be a water bomb Sokjin. It's going to be so much fun. And I think this is very much on brand. This is the kind of performer that he is. It's not just an artist. Actually, I was gonna share this with you, but anyway, you're just gonna have to wait for my interview with Wei Rong Lee. So I interviewed this girl. Her name is Wei Rong Lee, and she specializes in helping organizations communicate better with Gen Zers. And a lot of the things that she discussed, she's talking about the behavior and the culture of Gen Zers. It's very much Gen. It's very Jin. Like apparently a lot of the I won't be but this is the only thing that I'll be saying because I don't want to spoil the entire interview. But one of the things that Gen Zers actually crave is the a different type of celebrity. They're not a big believer of being a mere observant anymore. So they don't just like being an audience for celebrities. They actually like participating and being a part of the creation of art. And they like celebrities or influencers that actually connect with them. So I think the way that Jin is doing his tour is actually, it will resonate with the Gen Zers a lot. So let's see what's going to happen. I know it is funny that because he's the oldest, because the actual legit Gen Z is Jungkook. So he is older Gen Z, and then the rest are, I guess you can kind of consider the rest are millennials, younger millennials. So but yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of since it's an exterior venue, there's some sort of a water going on. So I don't know what is going it's going to be blessing everybody in that venue. So congratulations to the audience that will be in Korea. But lots of developments this week, and there will be lots more in the coming week. So one is that J-Hope, I'm so happy about this. So he did go above 50. That was kind of like what I've been waiting for everybody in BTS. I want each member to actually go above 50. So he finally planted his at number 40. So this will make him the fourth member of BTS that went above 50. So in the top 50. So he is number 40. I hope that we can sustain it. At the very least, sustain it. If not, we can still push him up higher. We can definitely push him higher. So he can go up one more. He can go up, like up until top one. It's not impossible. A lot of songs don't actually debut at number one. They sort of accumulate their numbers until they get to number one. So I hope that we can further push him because it would be nice to have another member in the top 10. Okay, so that he is at number 40 for Killing It Girl. So I'm very happy about that. So let's continue streaming. Please use premium streams. Okay? Please use that. So I hope that this is just the beginning. We are sort of halfway through the tracking week for next week, but we can definitely go higher. Let's aim for, I don't know, 35, 20. Let's just aim to go higher and higher and higher every week. We can do this. Hope his number is still rising. I think he got his a new all-time high in terms of stream, not all-time high, but the highest for daily streaming for Killing It Girl a day or so ago. So that means he now has 8 entries in Billboard Hot 100, making him the Asian native soloist with the most Billboard Hot 100 entries with 8 songs. Wow. So let that sink in. J Hope holds the record for the most Billboard Hot 100 entries by an Asian native soloist with 8 songs to his name. Imagine that. Let that sink in. Oh my God. 8 entries, J Hope. And he's planning on releasing as well, at least that's what he's hinting at. He's gonna be releasing an album. So I'm sure we can definitely chart one more in that album, right? I am so happy for him. 8 songs. 8 songs inside Billboard Hot 100, and the last song is the highest ranking to date, so highest charting. And I remember saying last week that he just needs time. That's all he needs. He just needs time to get to what he wants. We know that one of the goals that he mentioned in the beginning of his comeback is to do well in charts. So this is definitely better, but we can still push him higher. So let's do that. Is it true that Kendrick Lamar posted the song, or is just an edit? I'm not sure. I don't follow Kendrick Lamar in IG. I did see that someone said that Kendrick Lamar actually posted, but I'm not sure because I do not follow. So if anybody actually follows him on IG, then let me know. Okay. So these are his 8 entries. Number one is Arson at number 90, LV Bag 83, More at 82, Chicken Noodle Soup at 81, Sweet Dreams at 66, Mona Lisa at number 60, On the Street at number 60. Sorry, Mona Lisa at 65, and then On the Street at number 60. And of course, number 40, Killing It Girl. 8 songs. So we can do better. We can still do better. We can still push it higher. So let's just keep on streaming. Let's concentrate on Killing It Girl. And I am sure that he can go inside top 30 and then top 20. Now, time to update now that he has a new entry. Everything remains the same, of course. The only thing that changed is J Hope. He now has 8 entries, as you can see. 27 entries in Billboard Hot 100 for BTS. Next is J-Hope. So he was tied with Jungkook for a while, but now he has the most Billboard Hot 100 entries with 8, and his peak also changed from number 60 to number 40. So way better than he used to do. And then total number of weeks accumulated across all credits, across all songs that is credited to his name, he has 8 weeks in total. In Billboard 200, he has 3 entries now. That didn't change, but his peak is at 5. Total number of weeks is number 7. Billboard Global 200, number of entries is now 9, and then Billboard Global 200 peak is number 3. So this is his highest. His peak was number 20, and then total number of weeks in Billboard Global 200 is 23. Clap, clap, clap for J Hope. He works so hard for this. He's really, really promoting Killing It Girl like he has not promoted any of his songs. So he definitely deserves this. So let's continue putting it in our playlists, and I'm sure that he will go up further in the chart. Um, one of the criteria of being an army is being a millionaire to support each and every one of them, but I'm not. I'm not a millionaire either. And with the way I'm spending for them, I won't ever be a millionaire. But it's okay. You know what? I'm happy. So for as long as you're happy with what you're doing, it is okay. I don't have luxuries in life. This is the only luxury that I have, BTS. Okay. But I actually there's a lot of stuff going on in the office. It's been hard for us. There's just, a lot of corporate things happening. And I told my boss that don't worry, for as long as BTS and the members are active, I am staying in this job because I need the income to support BTS. Okay. Chart data released the all K-pop acts with the most charting songs in Hot 100 history, and several of you requested that I put deeper context and deeper explanation in this number. So, of course, BTS has 27 songs inside Billboard Hot 100, and then Blackpink with 9, J-Hope with 8, Jungkook with 7, Jimin 6, V with 6, Lisa, Jenny, all of them with 6, and Psy with 5, tied with New Jeans, and then Suga with 4. So you wanted something better, like a deeper analysis and like just to see the context of where this is coming from. So okay, so let's look at the chart. Finding him. Yeah, she was laughing so hard. I mean, so I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I need this income for BTS." So probably when I don't stand them anymore, I can quit. Okay, K-pop hunters might be my daughter start listening to. Might be why my daughter start listening to K-pop, which is really funny. I love it. I love that. I will talk about K-pop hunters. Okay, so this is the top acts, Korean acts with the most entries to Billboard Hot 100. So you wanted something more, a deeper analysis of this number. So okay, so this is revealing a little bit more on the numbers. So we have here on the vertical side, first column would be the act. So that's BTS, Blackpink, J-Hope, Jungkook, Jimin, V, Lisa, Jennie, Psy, New Jeans, and Suga. And then we are going to be talking about the number of songs, number of entries that they have in Billboard Hot 100, their peak, total number of weeks inside Billboard Hot 100, and then unaccompanied would be no collaboration. So I couldn't say solo because BTS is a group and Blackpink is a group. So unaccompanied, they have no featured artist and they're not getting featured in any other song. And then as featuring is that they are the featured artist. And then lead is when they are credited as a co-creator or co-performer instead of the word featuring. Okay. Mary Rosemary, I can't quit. I definitely can't quit. It's very hard to maintain 5 men. Very hard, especially if it's a one-way relationship. I'm kidding, okay? That's a joke. Okay. Um Next. Okay, so we have BTS has 27 songs, 27 entries, Blackpink 9, J-Hope 8, Jungkook 7, Jimin 6. So Jimin, V, Lisa, Jennie 6 entries. Five and then Psy and New Jeans 5 2 sorry 5 apiece, and then Suga has 4. Now their peaks, there are only 3 acts that actually reach number 1 in Billboard Hot 100. It would be BTS, Jungkook, and Jimin. Okay, only them, just the 3 of them. Now, Psy went to number 2 and stayed there for a while, but he never got to number 1. Plus Debak. Debak is the most expensive. Okay. Psy actually got to number 2, but that's it. So the next highest one after that, so no other acts went inside Billboard top 10 outside of those 4 acts. And then Blackpink went to number 13. They had one song at number 13, and that was their collaboration with Serena. So 13, they are the next highest. And then Suga with 29, and it's his collaboration with Juice World post um what do you call that, after he passed away. So he's number 29, and then we have J-Hope at number 40. And then we have at number 51, 48 is New Jeans. And then tied at number 51, Jenny and V, both of them peaked at number 51. And then Lisa at number 68. So there's not a lot of all the K-pop acts. There's not a lot who actually have achieved more than four entries. There are the only other, on top of my head, the only other act that got two entries would be Le Seraphim, had two entries, and there's one more, CL. CL of 21. So both have two entries apiece. So it's not a lot with the thousands and thousands of K-pop acts. Not a lot that got to multiple number of entries in Billboard Hot 100, and certainly a very select few that got to top 10. And so it would be great. My dream would be, of course, the ultimate is for BTS and each member to actually get to number one, right? That is the Rose Apathy, yes, but she didn't have multiple entries. That's the answer to your question. She didn't have multiple entries that got to top 10, that got to the top 10. And I think she only has two. I want to say two or three entries in Billboard Hot 100. No RM, no Jin. So we're just look. This is just a response to this post. This is just a response to this post. I do have I have this there. So uh Sugar. So J Hope, where's Jin? Jin has three. RM has two. Yeah. So they have two each. Warren Cat's Eye will probably join the multiple entries list next week once Gabriela gets counted. Yeah, I really enjoyed that music video. Oh my God, I really enjoyed it. I've watched it several times, but I'll discuss that in a bit. So yeah, I mean, my goal is for all of them, of the ultimate goal, my not goal but dream, my ultimate dream is for them, my ultimate dream for them in terms of charting is for each member to get a number one in Billboard Hot 100. That would be the ideal scenario. Now, if not, then at least the rest to actually get to top 10. So right now we only have three of them inside top 10, which includes BTS and then Jimin and Jungkook. So if we can get the rest into the top 10, that would be great. RM does not write the kind of songs that do well on popular chart. That is true to a certain extent. He has written a lot of BTS songs that did well on the chart. However, this is my view. I definitely do not want them to compromise. And this is just my view, okay? I'm not dictating what they want to do with their lives. Obviously, even if I want to dictate, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay. So, my view is that RM is a great songwriter, and I believe that he will be able to pen a song that is totally his and his alone, but will still resonate with more people. That is, it will not. He will not have to change his genre or his messaging or whatever. He will be able to write a song that will resonate with more people. So I truly believe that, because I just refuse to believe that great talent will not find its way to the popular masses, to the popular audience. So I think that'll happen. It just needs time, and I'm certainly not losing hope. So that is my goal. I think I got a wind of how capable RM is really in writing with Closer, his collaboration with Paul Blanco, because that song is very, 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 very good. But it also has the potential to go pop. So if he can do something like that and releases that as a single, I think that song alone, although Paul Blanco's voice is perfect for that song, but imagine him using that song as a collaboration with a Western artist, that would have gone to number one. Although, as I've said, maybe it wouldn't have sounded so good. It wouldn't have sounded so good. I mean, it sounds so good because Paul Blanco's voice is perfect for that. But I'm just using it as an example that if he can pen something like that, and and then get the right Western collaborator so that he can get into radio, he will break number with the top 10 for no question about. Do not doubt that alone. I don't doubt that at all. So I definitely am sure he is capable of doing it. He has that skill to write something that is truly his, resonates with him, that is his music, no compromise, and still appeal to GP. That's gonna happen. I just maybe it is that the wishful thinker in me, but I just refuse to believe that someone with RM's talent will not get that kind of success. I just refuse to believe that. I have hope in humanity. I definitely have hope. So, I certainly don't. I'm sure that you know this, that I have no problem with collaborators, especially I have no problem with collaborators if the singer or the artist isn't that it's not the only thing that they are selling, right? For as long as they have a wide range of songs and successes on their own with that collaboration, I don't have anything against it. And RM has already proven his skill and how great he is. As you're getting me to start, I'm starting to rant about RM. I have to stop. Okay. So I have no problem if in the future he says, "Oh, all right, I'm going to collaborate with the most whatever popular singer out there." I will not take it against him because, come on, sure, it's about damn time that people hear his songs. Okay, so, uh, total number of weeks, of course, nobody will beat. I think at this stage, BTS with 164 weeks inside Billboard Hot 100 cumulative, all of their credits together. And then next would be Jungkook at 68. He has 68 weeks inside Billboard Hot 100 with 7 songs. And then after that is Psy with 49 weeks. 5 songs, 49 weeks, and a huge part of that is Gangnam Style, because that was 31 weeks inside Billboard Hot 100. So 49. Third, ranting about RM is my hobby. Okay. Third is actually Jimin. So, no, fourth. So BTS and then Jungkook. Second with 68 weeks. 68 weeks inside Billboard Hot 100. And then Psy with 49. And then Jimin with 43. And we know that who is a huge part of that because that stayed inside Billboard Hot 100 for 43 weeks. Okay. And then after that, it's Blackpink with 28 weeks, and then New Jeans with 21 weeks. And when I was doing this chart and I saw New Jeans with 21 weeks, I just realized that, my God, these girls really spoiled their career. They had so much going for them. And especially because if you look at it, the next column is the quantity, the number of songs that they have inside Billboard Hot 100, which is unaccompanied. And for New Jeans, all of their songs that entered Billboard Hot 100, they're all unaccompanied with 5. They could have gone so much farther if they did not spoil their own success. So it's just oh well, what can you do? Okay, so for BTS, out of the 27, 19 is unaccompanied. So they have no collaborator in there. And then Blackpink, 6 of their 9 it would be unaccompanied, and then next would be New Jeans, 5 songs that entered, all unaccompanied, and then V has 4 unaccompanied songs, and then after that it's a tie between J-Hope, Jungkook, and Jimin, 3 apiece, and then Jennie, Psy, and Suga, all 2 apiece, unaccompanied. Now, as a featured, um, BTS is featured in one, Jimin is featured in one, which is Vibe, and then Jungkook is featured in one, Left and Right, and then Suga is featured in one, which is, I want to say, oh, I forget which one, which song is actually featured at. Um, it will come to me. But as a lead, BTS has 7 songs where there is a collaborator, but they are the lead, and that includes BWL, Boy With Love. And then for J Hope, he has 5 songs where he is the lead, but he had collaborators, and that includes J Cole, um, Chicken Noodle Soup, Becky, and then of course LV Bag. Okay, I think that is, yeah, that's just one more. Okay. And then there is Blackpink, Lisa, and Jennie all had songs where they were the lead. And for Blackpink, that includes their biggest Billboard hit, which is Ice Cream with Serena. For yeah, and then the rest, they were the lead and they had collaborators. So for Jimin, there were two. I'm pretty sure one is Vibe, and then the other I can't remember. Juice World. Yeah, there you go, Juice World. Sugar with Psy. Oh yeah, that yes, Sugar with Psy. Correct. So no, that and Girl of My Dreams. Those were the two. So uh so this gives you a better idea, like it gives you more context on the initial numbers, because reading the number of songs, the number of entries doesn't provide you much of a deeper understanding, right? Because it's without understanding the numbers, the supporting numbers, the number of entries is kind of superficial because, like, having just putting one song inside Billboard Hot 100 is already hard. Okay, that's already hard, and we should not take away the success and the credit away from this performers, this artists. It's already hard to get your song inside Billboard Hot 100, and so getting more than 3 at 4 at least, that's like superhuman. But still, it will be we are able to better contextualize it if we know the supporting numbers for each, so this gives you a better idea on that, right? Okay, so there was someone who sent a comment: New Jeans is the blueprint of what not to do in the industry. um Jin has only 3 full English songs, that's why he doesn't catch attention in US. 3 full English songs. Okay. Wait. So V has how many? Oh, the entire album is actually in English. Jungkook, all in English. Jimin. Oh, Jimin has only 1 full English song. J Hope has 3 full English. 3? 4. And then Suga has none. And then RM has none. Oh, no, wait. He has English songs. Okay, so where is the other comment? Is too much not a feature with JK and Kid Laroi? He is a feature there. I don't know if it got into Billboard Hot 100 though. Let's see. Okay, here. This is the ultimate list. Okay. He is no, he's a collaborator there. I'll share the screen with you. So even you can check this as well. Oh, sorry. Okay. Here. Okay, can you see it? Do you see it? So these are his songs inside Billboard Hot 100. As you can see, he has seven: Standing Next to You, Left and Right, Seven, 3D, Too Much, Never Let Go, and Stay Alive. So the three unaccompanied songs would be Standing Next to You, Stay Alive, and Never Let Go. And so he is a featured artist in Left and Right, and then he is credited. He's the co-performer, main performer on 3D and Too Much. So you can hi Apple Bangpo. You can just like look through whenever you want to see the records of the boys. I go directly to Billboard Hot 100 instead of going on third party sites or on X, because it's very common for people to actually twist the numbers on X, for people to lie. If they can lie on pictures, then they can lie on numbers like this. So I just go to the source itself. So you just go to your Google and then search. Usually go to I type the name of the artist and then Billboard Hot 100, and it usually returns the number one search result will always be the rankings, and you can just go through it. So on this here, you can actually change it. So this is Billboard Hot 100, and then if you just want to check like what about his record on Billboard 200, now we know that he has one album. So Billboard, so if you want to see Billboard Hot 100, artist 100, you can do, you can just, so all the charts that they have, it's there, it's available. So the only benefit that you get from me is that I do the collation. So you don't have to go through each. But if you want, you can definitely do that. You don't have to wait for me. So hi Chelsea. Okay. So that is for the Billboard Hot 100 entries. So I'm just very happy that J Hope got 8, but I hope that we can keep him there so that his total number of weeks would actually go up. Okay. Now we have a lot of certification. RIAA certification this week. We got a lot. Someone asked me why that is. You actually have to apply for the certification. So Big Hit most likely applied at the same time for all of this. That's why they got the certification at the same time. So we have Black Swan, Permission to Dance, Spring Day, and on all gold certification. Okay. And then we also have more. We have Save Me, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Fake Love with Platinum. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Fake Love, DNA, and Run are all Platinum certification. So this is what it looks like. It looks like. So we have one, two, three, four Platinum, and then five gold. So I don't know why they decided to, I guess, to make it more efficient to just apply at the same time. But you pay about 310 for per application, and the approval can take anywhere between 2 weeks to 6 months. It doesn't really, yeah. So I guess it's kind of like if you're going for the record, if you're stating the record, it would be unfair to the artist to count on when they were officially certified. It would be better to credit when they become certified, uh, they are qualified for certification, meaning, for example, once the song actually gets to 1 million, for example, then they're legible to be certified platinum. Because it's just that the approval can be crazy sometimes it takes long, sometimes it takes a short time. So Elvis has the most platinum. Correct. He has the most platinum. He is also, that guy is on the chart. He's still that guy is still reigning on the charts to this day. So What does gold certification? 500,000 units sold. 500,000 units sold. That is gold. And then platinum is 1 million in the US. What about Savage Love with Jason Derulo? No, Savage Love, they're credited as a featured artist, BTS, and it's credited to BTS. So and that's another thing to remember. BTS has some, like, BTS members have solo songs where it is credited to the whole group and not to them individually, right? The songs that they did when they were a group, and that's included in the group album, that's credited to BTS, not to the individual member. Okay, so we have a lot. At least they got those certifications. We still have a lot that should be certified, a lot of Jungkook songs, a lot of Jimin songs. They should get moving on that. Okay, so many awards, it never stops. I had no idea Elvis held those records. Oh, you'll be surprised with the records that Elvis hold. You'll be surprised. But yeah, that guy is something else. Okay. All right. So BTS is now 10 songs certified platinum and or higher in the US, more than all K-pop acts combined and doubled. How's that? all other all other acts, you can just put all of their records together and double it. It will still not be they will still not beat BTS's record for the most platinum certified records. So I find that whenever they do records this way, combined and doubled or combined and tripled, it's just funny to me. It's like, I wish they also bag a Grammy this time. Let's see. I don't think it is their. In all honesty, I don't think it's BTS's goal. Well, let's hope. I mean, let's see if it will still be their main goal. But I feel like they're past that. Like they have bigger goals already. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe. Okay, so BTS's Home actually entered the top 5 of US iTunes. So this happened, I think, for 2 consecutive days or 3 consecutive days. They stayed there in the top 5 of iTunes. So congratulations to ARMYs. I know that this was a project. I tried my best to participate. So a lot of the things that I participate on is usually US based because I am in the US. Whenever somebody asks me to do like a voting campaign or whatever, and it's not in the US, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So I usually concentrate on the US. Chansey said, I don't think they need the Grammys need them. Okay. Hi, doll baby. Okay, going back to our records, updates on the records. It's a lot, my God. Okay, so Jimin won the SMA Hallyu Special Award for 2025. I think there were 5 BTS members nominated. 2 members won. One is Jimin. Jimin won for the Hallyu Special Award of 2025 for SMA, and then the other one is RM. So he won the R&B and hip hop, best in R&B and hip hop. So 2 members won in SMA. Congratulations. The only other solo act, K-pop solo act that won an award in SMA, I think is Baekhyun of EXO. And these two are the second and third. Jin should do a cover of Guns N' Roses' November Rain. If there is something if there's a song I want Jin to cover, it would be Wonderwall by Oasis. Don't you think? Wonderwall by Oasis. What would be if he's going to cover a western song by a western band, what would it be for you? Let me know. For me, it's Wonderwall by Oasis. It's just one of my all-time favorite songs ever, regardless of genre or whatever. Yeah, what does Hallyu Special mean? So both of these awards are um, voted, fan voted awards, and Hallyu is Asia. It's a term they use for uh the Korean wave going around Asia. Hallyu. So artistic Korean wave. Korean wave for arts, I think that is a better terminology. Um I want him to cover Journey, maybe Don't Stop Believing. Journey. Wonderwall would be a good choice. High and Dry by Radiohead. Oh yeah. Epiphany demo version by Jin is my most favorite. I love November Rain. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great as well. Um Fairy Lane, did JK have a song called My Time? Yes. He does have a song called My Time. The reason in the old days, Hallyu means wave. BTS plus one. BTS 7 plus one. The reason in the old days Grammy was only good for raising prices at concerts, etc. Let me know. Creep by Radiohead. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes. So let me know which song you want. If you are given a choice, which Western song by a Western band do you want him to cover? Okay. So that's for the awards. Okay, that's for the awards. And then okay, so we are now at Gabriela for I really enjoyed this song. I super enjoyed this song. So they are for the third consecutive day, they were number one trending in YouTube. It's probably it's they're gonna go inside Billboard Hot 100 most likely for next week. Heal the world. Oh, losing my religion. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, please. uh all of BTS should sing that. Heal the World with Michael Jackson. Patience. Was Suga's feature the collab with Halsey's Lilith? No. Nuh-uh. So let's see. Um it was Girl of My Dreams and That here. Girl of My Dreams and That. Okay, there. Can you see it? Girl of My Dreams, that's it, which is the highest ranking he had, and then That. Okay. So for Gabriela, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. And there was when I watched this music video, I kind of realized that they might actually find their sound with this song because for Gnarly, I even when I initially discussed Gnarly, I admitted that this song was simply not for me, and I thought I'm just too old for something like that. But Gabriela was so entertaining, and I realized that they could actually manage. I think they will be able to find their sweet spot, something that is not Western, not K-pop, very much Asia, and a little bit of the West. And that is what Gabriela is. And also, I like the music video in that they did not go into the predictable zone where they will just be singing and dancing. It was actually very soap opera kind of thing, which Asia is known for. Right? Well, Mexico is also known for that, and I guess like um, US has some of the longest running soap operas there is. But this brand of soap opera is very, very Asia. So I thought actually just might find their identity. If they can pull off something like this, then it will be easier for them. I think it'll be easier for them to experiment a little bit more until they reach that sound, that unique sound that will be there. Now the only thing that I feel they need to be careful of is for them to be boxed as a novelty group, because that's what the music video feels like. It felt very novelty, kind of like Gangnam Style, where it's not very serious. um so the advantage that they have is that they're women. So So at first, I don't want them to continue just doing something like this because that will make them more novelty than anything else. But if they find the sweet spot, they'll I think they will have some longevity. Um, I wish what was that? Reminds me of Marimar. Does everyone know what Marimar is? Jin said when it's English song, it take long time to record while Korean Japanese takes a day. I guess the pronunciation. The next promoted song is Game Boy, and it sounds nothing like Gabriela. I think they're switching it up. Yeah, I think that's a good decision. That's a good decision for them to switch it up because, as I've said, if they just maintain the Gabriela sound and the Gabriela music video, they're going to be known as a novelty group more than a serious group. So I think that it was very very entertaining. I love how unserious it was. So I was glued from beginning to end. I had to watch it several times just because it was entertaining. So yeah, good job on their part. I wish they will have a take on Hollywood and ballad Filipino style. Um okay, let's see. I think Cat's Eye sings well enough to be able to play with their music and sound now. I think this is a fun album and their serious album will be next. Open Arms would sound awesome by BTS. For Jin, how about Barakuda by Heart? Oh my gosh. I don't know that song. JK and Sabrina Carpenter. I kind of want JK to collaborate with, well, I guess it's for every member. Like, vocal Mariah Carey, something like that. That's who I want him to collaborate with. Because I feel like we haven't really even seen a quarter of what Jungkook can do with his voice. And I think putting him against, not against, but with those caliber of a singer, I think will give him a chance to actually really showcase what he can do with his voice. So and that goes for every member of BTS as well. So I hope he does that. Okay, next, let's continue with our records. Okay, this is great for I'm so happy for them. As you know, Sophia is my girl because she's from the Philippines, so I want them to succeed. Okay, now ateez actually entered the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time. Okay, so congratulations to ateez, and they are the third biggest US physical sales week for a single in 2025. They have, sorry, they earned the third biggest US physical sales week for a single in 2025. They have over 30,000 copies, and they are behind only by Travis Scott 4x4 and Taylor Swift's Fortnite. That is not a bad company to be in. So congratulations to ateez. I know that some of you actually are, I don't know the fandom name of ateez, but I remember someone actually, or several of you telling me that I should start reviewing their songs as well. But congratulations to ateez. Lady Gaga envy. Yeah, Lady Gaga. No Mariah. You don't like Mariah. If you watch my interview with the MTV event coordinator, he told some funny stories about Mariah Carey, Rihanna, The Weekend. So he used to do events for MTV. Oh, watch it. He's so much fun. And so he was there from, like, he worked there for about 10 years, and he said that had it not been for the pandemic, when things had to actually stop, he would still be working for MTV for the event. So watch the interview. He said he related some stories about Mariah Carey and stuff like that. So it was fun. A tiny. Okay, a tiny. Okay. So congratulations to ateez. Maybe I'll listen to their song. So they are number 2 in Billboard 200 and number 3. Yeah, number 2 and they got 101,500 for pure sales. Bang Luna said, I have to catch up on your interviews. Yeah, this guy is so much fun. And he said some more things off cam. He told me, I'll probably tell you guys for when I do like Patreon only live stream. I'm hoping they don't bring other artists they can stand on their own. Of course, yeah, they can definitely stand on their own. Ah, you pronounce it 18. Oh, okay, 18. 18. All right, 18. Congratulations to 18. I'll give some of their songs a try. Okay. It's just that yeah, there's just a lot to listen to, so I can't get to it right away. So K-pop Demon Hunters cast has surpassed 1 million monthly listeners. Imagine that. So the women were voiced by the soundtrack. It was performed by Twice. Bang said promises, promises. I'm so sorry. I'll explain in a bit. So, okay, so this is fun. So the creator said that one of the members of the cast, the Demon Hunters, was actually inspired by Jimin. So because he's the character that's cute and all, and so he said for him to do that, he actually took inspiration. He basically patterned the character after Jimin, which is great. And then this soundtrack was actually voiced by Twice, which is my favorite girl group. So, and my Sana is actually my bias wrecker, but my official bias is Gio, but Sana is wrecking my bias. So I'm happy for this. I will give it a try. I haven't seen it. Um, I wanted to watch. I don't know. I don't even know if it's already on, but I've had subscription in Masterclass. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've had some subscription in Masterclass, and I'm watching last over the weekend. I ended up watching this, which I shared in Patreon, and I ended up watching this class delivered by three former CIA agents. So they talked about their time in CIA, if essentially relating their experience to like leadership, the lessons that they learned leading their own teams in CIA, and how people can actually learn from those experiences and apply that in, if you own a company or stuff like that. So I wasn't able to watch any movie or any drama because I was hooked with that. There were only 2 episodes. So Sana is adorable. She's lovely, right? She has the most brand deals. And I mean, she's so pretty. I know that a lot of armies were asking, like, has she always been that sweet? Because J-Hope was actually in her show. She actually toned it down. She's sweeter when she's with her members. Like, I don't know how those members survive. Actually, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. Like the way that she was looking at J Hope, that's how she looks at everybody multiplied by 10, and that's how she looks at her members. So, just watch this movie the other day, and it's really nice. Plus, it included Lea Salonga as Celine's singing voice. Which one? Um, I enjoyed K-pop Demon Hunters. I hope there is a sequel. BTS paved the way. I think Adele would fit better with V, in my opinion. Adele. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm, Queen would have, had he still been alive, with V. Who else do I think will fit with V? V's range is unbelievable. So Lea Salonga, a Filipina, and she was the original Miss Saigon. And she, I think, is one of the few artists who actually voiced a main character in Disney twice. So she definitely did Mulan. And those Filipinos, hey, what's the other one? Help me out here. She voiced two. One of them is Mulan. But I think V. and Lea Salonga. She has one of the best quality, like the resonance. She's one of the best in the world ever. And it so happened that Lea Salonga is an army, and her bias is V. So so if they do a collaboration, it would be perfect. But her voice is just so beautiful. Um, I mean, that's why they got her twice. Oh, so, Jasmine for so yes, Jasmine and Mulan. So she's one of the few who voiced two main characters. And for Jasmine in Aladdin, that's how she ended up being the first Filipina, I think first Asian born, Asian native who actually ended up being who actually ended up performing in the Oscars as a lead. So of course the other guy is co-lead, but she is one of those. Yeah. So yeah, I think the two of them would make great music together. Okay. Yeah, Lea Salonga is her bias. Okay, now I just wanted to provide an update to this guy because I talked about his case the last time I was on. So Ju Haknyeon has been let go of his agency. He is from the Boyz, the group The Boyz. He was his contract with his group has ended primarily because the agency is saying that not the agency, but he was seen going on a date with a former sex worker, and people said that it was prostitution, which is illegal in Korea. And so when that came out, they ended his contract. So they released a statement. First they said that they were investigating the matter. So that's the girl. And then eventually they released a statement saying that they let go of him and that the contract is not anymore valid. He pushed back. He pushed back and he said that he number one, he is denying that it was prostitution. He's blatantly denying that it is prostitution. He did not deny that he met with a girl, but he insisted it isn't prostitution. The girl also came forward and said it wasn't prostitution. Now, I'm not going to get into whatever it is they did. That is none of our business. And he is an adult, as far as I know. But he's saying that the agency didn't give him enough time to respond and that there is no basis for the termination of the contract. So he's saying that this is me meeting up with the girl is not in the contract, not a reason for the contract to be terminated. It's not in the terms. And so that is something illegal. So the agency responded and they said that they very well explained to him that they are firing him primarily because of what happened. And they specifically stated which part of the contract that is actually indicated that they can fire him in cases like this. So I think there's going to be a legal battle, but I guess the bigger question for a lot of people is that does the agency even have the right to actually meddle in the personal life of the idol? So if he is able to prove that this is not this is not prostitution, it really is in nobody's business who he dates. So if it is the girl who ends up being a former sex worker, that's none of our business. So but then again, the question of expectations, right? In South Korea, being an idol is a lifestyle, is not a job. And that is why it is included in the contract. And if you watched my interview with the lawyer, entertainment lawyer, there are grounds why, meaning there are precedent, and the law recognizes that in certain cases, the company has a say in certain things about the person's life, about the artist's life, especially in the arts, because most of the time, the brand isn't just a product, but it's also the person. So the law recognizes the need to dictate to a certain extent what the person can or cannot do. because the brand is ingrained in the person. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. But it looks like he's going to sue the company. Okay. They are fighting facts versus perception. Yes, it's like new jeans, feelings over legalities. It's always the battle, right? So I don't know. It's a good, even to us, like even to the audience, it's a good practice to kind of think about it. Like, do we, given that the branding, and you can take it from several perspectives, right? One perspective would be from a businessman's perspective. If you are investing on a person, on an artist, in this kind of a culture, in this market, wouldn't you want the artist to have certain guidelines on who they can and cannot date, at least publicly, right? um but also, and then take it from the point of view of a fan, would you accept, so like I'm a huge fan of BTS, you all know that. Like I had to ask myself, what if one of them actually end up falling in love with a former sex worker? Will I care? And my answer was no. I wouldn't care. I don't care who they date. I don't care, I just don't care. So for, if this happened to one of the BTS members, I don't care. So but then to other fans, for them, they care, right? So it's a good practice. Like for you, where do you draw the line, right? What would be acceptable for you or not? um Expecting grown men to live a celibate lifestyle is wildly unrealistic. No, the agency is saying that it wasn't about him dating, but who he dated. And also they're kinda alluding, is that fair to say? Wait, I don't know if it's fair to say. My original statement, which I doubt now because I have no way of confirming, is that they are saying that it is prostitution, although I don't think they actually even, um they didn't even say that. They didn't even address that specifically. They just stated that the contract actually ended. That is all that they said. So it is, they're not saying that he shouldn't have dated, but it seems to me that their issue was who he was dating. So I really don't like how that industry feeds that concept that the idols can't have personal life. They treat dating like a scandal. That I definitely agree with. I really don't care. I don't care. There's a lot. I don't know if it is me, but there's a lot of things I'm not interested in. That one of that would be their dating life. I just am not interested. I really don't care. I just want them to be healthy. I want them to be happy, and whatever kind of relationship they end up with, I hope it is inspiring on both ends. Meaning, the partner that the partner inspires them, and they inspire their partner, and they take care of each other. And for as long as that is okay, then I'm fine. Now, of course, there are certain limitations. For example, if they end up dating like a serial killer, serial killer or something, that won't be acceptable to me. Won't change my perception of their music, but just I probably will stop supporting them or something like that. But it's pretty extreme for me to even care. So yeah, I don't care about their love lives. I don't care about their gender identity. I don't care about their wealth per se. I am curious about how they invest money, because that's just my business. Like that's my other job, right? In the finance side, the economy, finance, business side. But like, I'm not interested. Like, oh, they have this much money. I'm just curious. Like, how do you invest? That I would be curious about. Um, yeah. Okay. Now, before I go to my next topic, random question and a little bit controversial and nosy, but I'm wondering if anyone here believes that any of the BTS members are still virgins. Humor me. I don't know. I do not know. Probably not. I don't know. I mean, most of them are in their 30s. They're popular. They're good looking, kind, smart, successful. Taeyang got a date and marry his backup dancer. Taeyang? Who's Taeyang? Taeyang, who's Taeyang? Taeyang of Big Bang? The only time I will care is when we see that they are unhappy in their relationship. Yeah, of course. I mean, when they if I see them get married or something, I'd be super happy. I'd be super happy if that time ever comes. If they choose not to share it, that'll be respected. I really am not interested. I guess that's also why the shipping does not resonate with me much, because I don't care. Like, it won't resonate with me. I won't be interested because I don't care on that aspect of their lives. I think that's why I have no interest in the shipping things. Like, I really don't care who they date. They can date whoever they want. I don't care. A serial killer is wild. But I would care. If it is proven that that probably is the time I would say, yeah, no, sorry, I tap out. But it's pretty extreme. It's pretty extreme. Okay. I wish it wasn't a scandalous thing to date. I actually like dating drama a bit in the West. Okay, I do confess there are certain dating drama that I feel that I am interested in, but it's more because of the drama, not because of who they are dating. Like, for example, when I learned in the reunion interview of Friends, and in the reunion interview, Jennifer Aniston, well, let's just call them Rachel and Ross. Rachel and Ross admitted, okay, Jennifer Aniston admitted that they actually, uh, sh- her and David Schwimmer, Ross, actually had the thing. Like, they actually ended up liking each other. It's just that, according to them, it was never the right time. Like, when one is free, the other is in a relationship, so they never matched perfectly. And because I'm such a fan of Friends, and I'm such a fan of Rachel and Ross, when I learned about it, it was like, oh my god, why did you not get together? Something like that. I cheer for that. But other than that, another couple drama. I actually liked Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez together, because when they got back together, I felt like, like, that's, you know, they fell in love before they broke up, and they gave it another try. But that is the extent of my shipping. um how true how true that one of Jin's Japan concert will be live streamed in cinemas across Asia? Just checking if you had heard about it and if it is confirmed. I haven't confirmed it. I've heard about it, but unfortunately, no confirmation. Yeah. So Keanu and Sandra Bullock, they had crushes with each other, but were too shy to pursue. Hi, share your love. We should always think about their happiness. Be kind. Why are you saying, oh my God? What's the OMG for? Um, I hated J Lo and A Rod because I'm a Red Sox fan. Fairlane, that's how I feel about Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, Rachel and Ross and Rachel. Yeah, they almost were together. Imagine that. I mean, it would have been the happiest day of my life if they ended up. Well, that's an exaggeration. One of the happiest I'll ever be had they ended up together. But that is the extent of my interest. Like, because I love the character. Like, 10 years, I followed Friends, and they were such a central characters in the story. So when I learned about them actually liking each other, and the other, see, I'm talking about Friends, but the other cast members of Friends actually said that they knew about it. And I think it was Matt, I think it was probably Matt, who actually even mentioned that, I mean, you were tickling each other on the couch in front of everybody. Of course, we'd notice. So I was like, they should have been together. Okay, next topic. There's live viewing for Japan tour, but only in Asia. I feel like Keanu is an actual good person. All right, let's go to the next topic. How about we do Suga? How about we do Suga? Are you proud? Are you proud of Suga? Did you expect he was gonna do something like this? So as we know, he's actually donated 5 billion won. That's about $3.5 million to the Severance Hospital in Seoul. They have a program for autism, for those in the autism spectrum. So they have a program, and he is now supporting it. They actually called it the Min Yoongi Treatment Center. I don't know if it is a common name or an official name that they will be using. Regardless, I think it's a good thing that he is actually doing this. um so South Korea actually has one of the lowest in the world in terms of autism, and we don't want that to go up. It doesn't change the fact that these kids actually need help. So I think this is, I was so proud when I heard about it, and of course just as proud of armies who are actually matching his contribution. And I hope that this is not something that we're just going to be doing in the beginning. I hope this is something that we sustain forever. Okay. So I absolutely love what he has done, and I can't be more proud, really, especially because it's grassroots. So this is just part of the article. Suga has shown continued interest in adolescent depression. In November last year, he connected with Professor Chun Sun Ah from the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at Severance Hospital. Through their conversations, he learned that patients with autism spectrum disorder require personalized treatment. So this means that there is no one treatment that you can apply to many people. Like every kid is different, or every person is different. So that's why a lot. I actually ended up like dating a guy whose job is to care for um, kids with autism, and he had several clients who have been his clients since they were kids. And basically his role was to come up with a program that would make the kid functioning, a functioning member of a society and independent. That was his job, and it was for one person. So you can imagine that he was working for a really wealthy family, because they were paying him every day for 8 hours. And that was his specialty. He would make sure he would teach and train the kid to become a productive member of the society. And his oldest patient, he actually got him to a point where he was ready to get married. Like he knew what responsibilities were, he knew how to respond to social pressure and stuff like that. But when he was talking about it, I just could, I could imagine how difficult it is for you to just work with one kid. He was working with three kids, and each kid has a different program. Okay. All right. Now let's go back. He also studied social skills training through music and reportedly participated in the program over 10 times on weekends between March and June. Suga met children with autism spectrum disorder, harmonizing with them through music and engaging in meaningful interaction. He even taught them how to play instruments himself. He helped develop the Mind program, where imagine he helped in developing a program where children express their thoughts through writing while playing instruments in sync with music. The goal is to enhance social skills by integrating music into traditional therapy. According to the hospital, the children showed a noticeable improvement in emotional and verbal expression. In fact, the program proved effective in fostering social interaction among groups of three or more. Imagine that he helped in actually crafting a program. So a lot of people don't know, but music actually has been used. It is being used by many therapists in dealing not just with children within the autism spectrum, but also those that are going through trauma, depression. Music is actually like a tangible tool that they're using, and there have been many studies about it. So one of that, there's been a lot of meta analysis used on that. So meta analysis is when you're using many studies not connected and with many subjects. So the goal is to see, like, if I have, for example, 20 studies, to see if they actually match, if they have several common factors. So one is that if there are children who start slow when it comes to verbal communication, music helps. So instead of teaching them directly how to speak, you teach them how to sing, or try to like follow a melody, it's actually better. They learn how to talk faster. So not necessarily like extreme autism, but those that are just having a hard time talking. Okay, so you make them follow music. So this is a study um that where that was featured. Okay. Next is nonverbal channels for expression. So as you know, a lot of people, a lot of those that with in the autism spectrum, they really can't talk. But with music, it actually helps them communicate through their eyes, through their gestures. And the key, they said, was in the melody. So if they follow a beat, if they follow a melody, they can associate beats, tempos, and melodies into certain expressions. So that even if they don't actually talk, they're still able to communicate. Okay, so social interaction, verbal communication, initiating behavior, and social emotional reciprocity. Music therapy may also help to enhance nonverbal communication skills within the therapy context. Furthermore, in secondary outcome areas, music therapy may contribute to increasing social adaptation skills. I don't know if you've met someone with autism, but they one of the challenges for them is having social interaction. And a lot of parents opt to actually isolate their kids because they're scared that if you put this kid in a social setting, um, they might harm someone or do something dangerous. So that actually helps. So this is a study on that. The effectiveness of music. You can search if you want to read the actual paper. The effectiveness of music therapy in improving behavioral symptoms among children with autism spectrum disorders, a systematic review and meta-analysis. So this is the title of the study. Just for search for it if you want to go deeper in how they're actually utilizing music for them. So it also helps promote self-help and adaptive behaviors. And then this is something fascinating because they're studying how the brain is processing music, because they feel that once they understand how the brain processes music, it'll be better in developing a certain program for those that in the autism spectrum and even those with depression. Because music has such a strong impact on us and on our minds. If they know how our brain processes that music as an information and as a piece and as a message, they can craft things better to help people with depression or kids with in the autism spectrum. Okay. Next, I think that is the last one. And then it fosters family and social bonds. So if you have a rift in your family or you simply want to improve your relationship with your family and friends, try music. It'll help you. Okay, so we know that music is a legitimate therapeutic. Now, a lot of people are asking, is this a PR move? Actually, a lot of people are accusing Suga of using this as a PR move because he's going to make a comeback. And for them, he will never ever be able to get to recover from driving a scooter while drunk. For them, that is the most evil of all, that they are unable to forgive him. And they feel that Suga is doing this simply because he wants to recover his image. So this is a PR move. They think this is a PR move. Okay. Now, for armies, we already know this is not true. He has stated many, many times before that he has two goals, one of which is to continue singing until he is gray and sing in front of armies, even though when he's just sitting down and just playing his guitar. And then the other is that he actually wants to become a licensed therapist. And he initially said because he wants to be of help to people who are going through the same things he was going through or he went through. In fact, when they were coming up with ideas for Run BTS, one of his suggestions was this: we can do a psychological counseling or mental analysis. It was an actual proposal for him. So you can see from him. So you can see that he has always been interested in how the mind works, on how the mind and the emotions actually work. So no, this is not something that he just came up with because it is a PR move. He has always wanted this even before all of this started. Okay. So this is his statement. So he said the big reason I studied psychology was that it's very helpful for my music. That's how he ended up doing amygdala. That's how he learned about amygdala. There's a lot to be gained from learning about the formal definitions of emotions. I have two dreams. The one is to be an old white-haired man still standing on stage and playing his guitar and singing, and the other is to become a licensed psychological therapist, because I want to help the ones who come after me who do similar work as ours. I looked it up and it takes a lot of time, so it won't be easy to begin right away. But I would really like to become licensed someday. And since I have these aspirations, it makes me think I won't be resting on my laurels anytime soon. So I honestly feel that this is how people, we'll get to this, but this is how people should be processing their trauma. Okay, let's not talk about trauma, but just experiences. Let's not go scientific. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. Let's just go practical. This is one way on how you can actually process your emotion, is by turning something bad into something useful and something productive. Okay, so we know that, right? That he has actually been saying that he wants to become a counselor, a licensed therapist. So in his radio show, he actually said that again, I want to be of help. My ultimate goal is to get a license on counseling. It has always been the trajectory of his career. It has always been a dream. So it is not a PR move. Even before all of this started, he was set on doing this. It was just a matter of time. And since he served, he had lull times, then he was able to start making concrete moves towards that. Okay. Now, I, as I was saying, I think this is how you should process bad experiences. You look at the broken pieces of yourself and you rebuild it into something beautiful and something new, something more productive for other people. I think that's one way of actually getting over it, instead of just like allowing yourself to surrender to it and not do nothing but think about it. Look at how you can, the lesson that you can learn from that experience, and then convert that into something useful. So it is not just a dream that he had, but it's actually a template for people like us. Like, if we're going to go through something traumatic, this is how we can actually process it. Okay. Now, the good thing is, a lot of people are asking, why can't he just do it quietly? Why does he allow the media to cover this? Why did they release a PR, a press release? Well, because he encourages other people to do something similar. So, Army is actually now donating to the same organization. So, Army joined Suga's 5 billion won donation, 200 million raised in one day. So just one day, 200 million, and armies are hell bent in actually matching the 5 billion won donation. So if you want, just you can call the organization directly. And there is a Twitter account that's actually dedicated into organizing the donation. So if you don't want to go direct, you can call them. I won't have, so people are asking me why, like I should lead the fundraising, but I feel like someone's already doing this, so might as well just support that account. I have never dealt with that account, but it seems that they've been doing it for a while, so just support that account. Get in touch with them if you want to donate. I think it's a good cause. You know that my first love in terms of charity has always been kids and then education, so I think this two combined is a great one. He did it, he did do it quietly. Okay. So the other thing that you have to remember is that research is an important component, but often overlooked and underfunded in a project like this, because people just want results, results, result right away. But the truth is that there has to be a lot of research that goes into it. Otherwise, things won't be good. You need to know how to do things. You need to know the effects. Like that brain analysis research would need to get funded because they are correct. If you understand how the brain processes information like music, then it will be better for them and easier for them and more effective for them to come up with programs that will help other people. So if you're looking for any charity, any way to help, research is a good way to do it because it's underfunded. So if you get to organizations that are doing research on things like this, that would be a great one too. A lot of people don't like funding research because they feel nothing is being done, but the truth is this is the foundation of whatever should be done. The other thing is manpower. A lot of people question whenever there is a nonprofit organization releasing their statement and they see like 60% actually goes into manpower. They question that a lot. I understand. But in cases like this, people do need to earn, like nurses, doctors, researchers, they need to earn. So a lot of the funding, usually 60% of the funding actually goes into human resource, to paying people. That is the usual case. Now, if you're really good, you can probably bring that down to about 40%, but don't expect that no one will be paid. People will need to be paid for this program to actually continue. So that's also another good way of supporting them if you want to fund the salary of people. Okay. So human resource. All right. And then the other thing, the other response to that is, this a PR move? My response is, who cares? Who cares if it is a PR move? People are benefiting from it. We know that it isn't, but people are benefiting. So if other people do the same thing, for as long as they're benefiting for the good, I don't mind. I will not reject someone's help just because I think it is a PR move, unless person is really evil or something. But something like this, come on now. Like, there's so much problems in the world that if you have somebody willing to take on a certain task that will benefit more people, let's let them do it. So who the hell cares? Right? He is doing something good and a lot of kids are benefiting from it. So if somebody whenever somebody well if somebody comes to you and questions his intention, you can just say, who the hell cares? Children are getting the help that they need, and it's way more. Suga is doing way more than what they're doing behind their monitors and behind their keyboards. And all they do is follow algorithm and rage bait people. So I would go with what Suga is doing any given Sunday. All right. Do you have questions? It's wonderful either way. Yeah, I don't care. I'm so exhausted with, it's although I recognize the trend in social media where a lot of people will do something good and then they will put it up. Like, they'll set up a camera doing something good. And for as long as the beneficiary of that good deed is an actual person who actually needs help, I do not mind. Just help. Okay, if you want clicks, for as long as you're helping, fine, right? So I've had two people, well, three actually, three people sending me message, this is a PR move and whatever, and my response is, I don't care. This is helping kids. So you want to do some charity, for as long as the beneficiary of that charity are people who actually need help, I don't care. I'll give you the clicks, whatever. You could just continue doing it. So, right? I remember, like, I was in a grocery, and the the woman about so there's like two people ahead of me, and then that woman was paying, and I guess she was short, and you can see that it was like all necessities, and it was very obvious that she had children because there were diapers and she was trying to move stuff. And then I see the guy after her, and the person he was with started recording, and then he offered to pay. And then the girl behind me was like, "Oh my god, there's just going after clicks." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's obvious they're going after clicks, but at least whoever the child is of that woman is gonna get his or her milk and diapers. So who the hell cares?" Like, I'll help in recording if that is what it takes for you to pay that woman's bill. So just don't pay attention to those people. Like, this is a PR move. Who cares? For as long as they're doing something good. And that goes for any other member of BTS. Like, why do they have to publicize it? Why do they have to? Who cares? I've heard that same criticism on J-Hope when people learned about, although that in all fairness, J-Hope, he wasn't publicizing, it's just people learned about it. When people learned about the dog pound, the dog shelter that he has been helping for years, like, oh, he's using it as a PR move. And like, he's helping dogs, who cares? I'll give them all the clicks that they want for as long as they help people. Okay, I know adults with autism are sometimes overlooked. Some I'm hopeful that it will expand to helping adults too in the future. It seems like it. It seems like that also includes adults. Okay, most of the ones hating are the ones who don't have empathy for others and would never volunteer or donate to those in need. Okay, um, at least now At least now we know who Suga was working with for a while, completing his military duty as a social worker. We don't know if this is what, yeah, it could be. It could be where he was working at. It could be. Suga has a pure and beautiful soul. Yeah. So that's that. I don't know how you're going to respond, but that's just how I respond. Whenever they say like it's a PR move, who the hell cares? If it's going to benefit people that are in need, I will give them all the clicks that they want. I'll double click, damn it. I'll create accounts just to give you clicks. I don't care. For as long as the beneficiary are people who actually need it, I'm good. You can you can post that. For as long as the other person consented, of course. All right. Any other question before we move on to the next topic, which will probably be the last? The psychiatrist that Suga is working with won the lottery. Oh wow. PR is the best way possible. I rescued for over 40 years without social media. Boy, I could use some BTS PR moves. Why did you stop rescuing? Why did you stop rescuing then? I've had people help me like that, give me a few dollars to help buy everything, not a camera inside. um yeah, I don't care. Just for me, if even though it is obvious that people want to put that on camera, I think we just have way too many problems nowadays that I don't mind. If that is what it takes for you to help at this moment. In the future maybe not, but at this stage we just have so many problems. Okay. I am exhausted with the constant negativity aimed at young men. It's a hospital wing, so it would have publicity. Also, the constant scrutiny and stalking they continue to rise above. I got old. Oh, okay. So you couldn't anymore. Okay, got it, got it. Okay. So one of the other things that several of you have actually been asking me to cover this topic for a while is the discord among armies. So some armies feel that this is not the army that they used to know. Like this is that there's so much infighting within the fandom. There's so many solos. We're not coming together for streams anymore. We're not coming together for any kind of project. So one was like, oh, why don't you come up with guidelines on how we should work together for BTS, and address division, infighting, and the lack of support for projects. So number one, I'm still, I don't agree that army is so that there is more fighting than there is unity within army. I think it's just that people are so very much into social media and allowing themselves to be controlled by social media that they kind of lose track of what's real, because social media has the tendency to push the hate because that's what gets them engagement. So they convince themselves into thinking that armies aren't coming together anymore for BTS. I don't think that is true. Now, I do think that that armies have actually changed, that we changed as a fandom, we also changed. And I think that's natural. I think like BTS, armies evolved in the 3 years that BTS was on hiatus as a group, armies lived their lives. We lived our lives, right? Exactly like what BTS wanted us to. So some of us got married. This is exactly what I said in the letter to Suga. Some of us get married. Some of us got divorced. Some of us got their degrees, pursue a degree, went into their dream trip around the world. So we just changed so much the same way BTS have changed. BTS members have changed so much. So I think it is unreasonable for us to expect that we would all behave the very same way we were behaving before they went on hiatus, because we experienced life the same way BTS has experienced their own version of reality, like their own reality in their own country. So I think it's a given that we will change. Um, but I do not think that necessarily the change was just for the bad. Just like any human being, some people change for the bad and some people change for the good. But what you see on X, on FB, on IG, I don't think those things exactly represent reality. I don't think we are as ununited or as broken as people think we are. I don't think that we are not coming together for BTS. um, and one proof of that is just how much we were able to rank. We were able to chart many of their songs even while they were in the military. I mean, when Suga, the day that news about Suga broke, people, it was just automatic. Like we were just trending the songs. So when Jungkook, when Jimin, when V released their songs, and they were serving the military, we were all there streaming with them, buying, participating in whatever way we can. um, so I don't necessarily think that we are worse than before. We just changed. I think we're just really different in how we express things. And also, because we change, I think we just need to change our expectations of armies. And I think we should change how we're trying to mobilize people. I think gone are the days when someone will say something and that is it. As people will just do that. I think there's a little bit more effort in explaining things, and that should be expected because people are growing up. They kind of want to know who it is that's talking and why exactly we're doing these things the way that we're doing them. So it's just evolution, not necessarily change for the worse. One thing that I observed is the rise of micro communities within the fandom, because there's a lot more. Social media has really blossomed during the pandemic, and so a lot more armies managed to develop their own micro communities. So instead of several big accounts on X, on Facebook, on IG, and several websites, there are more micro influencers that are pulling people together and doing their own thing. And that I think is okay, because at the end of the day, a lot of us are isolated in our own physical communities, right? Like many of us don't have friends or family members who are also armies. So we're not just looking for a passive hobby, like a pastime that we do one once a week, or we spend an hour a week. We're looking for real community that we can, people we can talk with, spend time with. If there is a trip to be made, we see people. That's what we're looking for now. And I think that's why micro communities became popular, because when you're in a micro community, it's easier to connect with people personally. And I'm seeing that in our own community in Patreon. Like we managed to have in this tour, starting in the tour with J-Hope, although that was, I think, for Patreon, that was a dry run. But we managed to create communities, groups that are going to Dallas, groups that are going to New York, and other cities. So because it's smaller, it's easier to be familiar with people. So I think that is one way to go for armies. Instead of just following big accounts, it's time for armies to actually develop micro communities, especially local communities in their own cities. That way, and you can always start like online. That way, it's easier to bring people together. And it's easier because you have one shared interest, and that is BTS, and that can blossom into more. So I think that's one way to go micro community instead of big going for bigger communities. Next is that I think help should be directed back to BTS, not influencers. One thing I observed is that, so I've actually started like just observing how other influencers are doing it, and I've had to become a member of some Patreon communities just for work. And I realized that a lot of these people, a lot of the organizers of the community make it about themselves than it is about BTS. So in the end, they develop their own following more than BTS. So so much so that when they say something bad about a certain BTS member, for example, others just believe what she's saying, or even though they actually are OT7 because they believe in this influencer so much. When I feel that no, if you build a community around BTS, you're monetizing BTS in one way or another, it has to be about BTS. So I think it just, we need to be very, very conscientious about this. Follow the community that whose support is towards BTS and not just themselves. I won't take it against influencers that are making money, but it takes money and I mean effort and time to actually organize a community. They should earn, but still the main focus should be BTS. Once I feel that that a person is promoting their own interest more than BTS, I tap out. So let's be conscientious about that. Be very, very observant if they're actually promoting BTS or themselves. So more themselves than BTS. So yeah, it's actually kind of creepy the amount of these influencers that have, they can just really move their own, you know. Anyway, we used to have so many groups. I don't know if you were here during the time when we had, of course, Bangtan subs still there. And they kind of led this because they were really the original group that started translating videos of BTS. But then after that, there were other communities that were dedicated on certain things. We had wiki armies, we had baby armies. So these are people that would help new armies in getting familiar with BTS. They would explain the Bangtan universe, the what's the story about, what they should be reading, who should they they should be staying away from. And then there were army employment. Do you know this? Like there was actually dedicated accounts and dedicated websites that would help army look for jobs. Imagine that. They would look for jobs for armies and they would post job uh posts like if there is a company that needs certain things, they would post that. They would help you craft your resume. They would do practice interviews with you. There are army grants, so these are for armies that need a grant either for a business, excuse me, for education or whatever, but they'll help you raise money. And then there's army fundraising. Excuse me. There's army tutors. This is one of my favorites. So there's a website where you can go online and you can help tutoring children. So some armies have children and they don't have money to do like to pay for tutors. There were armies who were volunteering. Local assistance. So this was more focused in local communities. Travel exchange. There were armies that would actually list their houses so that if you go to that place, you can spend the night in their ADU, in their whatever, in their couch or whatever, but it's open for as long as you can prove your identity and all. Army designers. We had armies that would design wedding dresses. Like it's unbelievable the amount of support that armies actually gave each other. So this I fully support, even though it's not totally about BTS, but it became a vehicle for others to actually realize just how popular and how strong BTS armies are, because we were starting to help each other. And then one by one, these people disappeared. This owners of these accounts started disappearing. And I wish they would come back because it did help the community bond strong. It helped the bond of the community to be stronger. So I hope these people would come back. Um, so yeah, instead of just influencers serving their own purpose, they could pick up something that would be beneficial to other armies, even though it's not necessarily directed to BTS. So the one thing I know is that armies crave connection because, as I've said, many of us are so isolated from our families and our friends that we're actually looking for a group that we can travel with, talk about BTS with. So let's be that for each other. And one thing I am proud about our Patreon community is that we have, even when I'm not there, you guys would just help each other, provide information, answer questions. I think we need more of that. Um, Patreon is kind of limiting. I mean, many of you are expressing, the things that you wish Patreon has so that it can serve a better purpose. So definitely I'm thinking about that. But I think one of the things that we have to be conscious about is that the algorithm pushes disconnection when in fact what we need is disconnection. But because disconnection is what gets them more interaction, that's what the algorithm is pushing. So let's not allow ourselves to get into that, and let's not allow baby armies to get into that trap, to start believing into to believing in what the algorithm is pushing them. So I interviewed somebody, Nina is her name. She's actually in Japan. One of the things she wanted to do was the purple cafe corner. And that is the aim. She wants to become the venue where people can actually come together. And not just BTS, like other K-pop groups or other pop groups, if they want to come together for an event or whatever, she wants the place to be, she wants her cafe to be that. So she's now starting to raise money. But if you guys want to create something similar in your own area, that would be great as well. I was kind of angry because a Mama Army posted in Hobie's post that he was damaging BTS's image with a dirty choreography. How can an army write with this member's post and other people supported? What? Dirty choreography? Ah. Stop hating on non-toxic solos. Utilize them. A lot of people are so frustrated with solos. Well, they're gonna be there forever. We can't get rid of them. So to me, I've said this many, many times before. For as long as they are not saying anything against BTS, other BTS members, I don't mind. They might as well be useful. So help in pushing your favorite member. After all, not all armies have unlimited supply of money. So we will not be able to support everything. Having those solos would be good because then at least we know someone is there looking after a member, right? So just choose who you interact with. My advice, the minute they say something against other members, I drop them. And stop responding to rage bait. Please stop responding. As a lot of people are posting, they one of the latest one, oh, not that one of the latest one that I saw was about the tour of Jin. I don't know if you know about this, but some armies or probably toxic solos making an issue out of nothing. Jin already clearly stated, he said voluntarily, that the reason they couldn't get the ideal venue was because he decided late. He was initially offered to go on tour. He said no, he declined, and then later changed his mind. So it was natural for Big Hit to find it hard to get the right venue for him. Now, for Seoul concert, many armies, or at least those that are pretending to be armies, are saying that the venue is going to be vacant. The indoor venue, the one that is bigger, is going to be vacant on the day of his concert. Why didn't they just use it? There could be a whole lot of reason. So, number one, it could be, as you know, when you have an event, you don't just rent it on the day itself. You rent it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days before, depending on your setup. So it could be that there is an event before or after, and that in between will be spent either dismantling or putting together the set. It could be a late cancellation, that there was somebody who already paid for the venue, but then they decided last minute they were not going to do it, and then Big Hit doesn't have the time to do any planning anymore. There's a lot of reason, but Jin clearly stated he was offered to do a tour. He disagreed, he declined, and then later changed his mind. That's why he couldn't find the perfect venue for him. He said it voluntarily, he explained it. I know that those haters are going to spin it and say he was being forced to say it, because there's absolutely nothing you can say to convince these haters and solos otherwise. So don't waste your time, but at least for us, we should know that that was the case. He volunteered the information. So let's put it to rest. I think we should just spend our time helping sell out the tickets in other venues. I know that there are still some tickets in London. I think not a lot there. I think there's like 5% of tickets are still available. If there is somebody um, in the European area that would want to take charge of that, I will help in promoting it. It's just that I can't lead the the fundraising because I'm not from Europe. I don't even know how to buy tickets in Europe. So yeah, let me know if someone is willing to take on the fundraising for Europe to help sell out the venue. Let me know. I'd love to see I'd love to see who can force Jin to do anything. Jungkook. uh Other than Jungkook. um I was going to answer her so, but decided the world is so crazy today to lose time with those kind of people. Toxic solos in fighting. Who is Captain Korea? Oh my God, so juvenile. And for many of us, 3 years or older is effectively eight or more, health and physically wise. Yeah, I think it's just that. It's just that army changed. Of course, we just changed on our priorities, the time that we spend for work and stuff. Just things changed. So I think it's unreasonable for us to expect the same thing from armies who also evolved. And by the way, that's what BTS has been asking us to do, evolve, right? Experience the world. And so I think it's just a matter of knowing how to approach this instead of forcing them to respond the same way. Jin is too free spirited. Um, They'll probably get us next slicing move from Jin. JB collectively BTS owns about 1% of Hybe stock. Yes, about 1% of Hybe. They're the fifth as a group. They're the fifth biggest shareholder of Hybe. As soon as people see the first concert, they will scramble for the tickets. I am sure. These people are insane. I agree. I agree. So that actually just that's my rule on X, and that's why my feed is clean. Anytime anybody says anything about other members, I just block them. I really don't have time. And it's not that I have never been fooled before. It's especially during like recent times I've realized that a lot of armies that are claiming to be OT7 aren't, and they're just waiting for the perfect time to sort of slide in their their actual interest. So I've been fooled before, but at the very least, but even then, as soon as I see anything that would indicate they are actually toxic ones, then I just get rid of them. I really have no time with a job, a business, and this. I really have nothing else. I have no other time. And then a dog, and then a mom, and a daughter. It's just I have no time. Okay. They haven't watched Kian 84, have they? I'm waiting for the group activities to know for sure about armies. We're gonna be there. I mean, just look at J-Hope. It's just one member, right? But the way that we came together for the concert, all venues sold out, and look at the performance in the chart. I have, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. It's just that I think people are expecting that armies are going to respond the same way. I am tired of people saying the company is forcing the members to do things. They do what they want. They tell us this time and time again. Yeah, I think a lot of the um now, so a lot of the hate the last several days are coming from, well, people think that the members didn't come together for Suga's discharge, right? So that they're throwing at BTS when in fact we know that he was a public servant. He did a public service, so he didn't have the usual discharge as other members. We know that he used his leave of absence in the last several days of his service. So technically, while he was technically still serving, he wasn't going to his office anymore. Next is that I think it was Suga's choice not to do this. He could have had a Weaver's Live. He didn't even do that. He wrote us a letter, right? So I think that should provide us a clue on how he decided to do his discharge from the military. And then another hate um, source is that the leader RM is in where is he for the Samsung event? Like, why wasn't he there to get the group together for for Sugar's discharge? As I've said, I think the boys already agreed and planned on what they are going to do. And then the other and then there's Jimin and Jungkook who are traveling wherever. So I think they're doing something. Like, that is their choice to travel together. Like, that is none of our business. It's their choice to travel whoever they want to travel with, whether it's another BTS member or somebody else. Just because one member is not traveling with the person that you want him to travel with, that doesn't give you an excuse to hate on other members. Like, come on. We know these two stick together. They've served for 18 months. So they're, I don't know. They're both from Busan. They probably understand each other better or something. Or they just jive in traveling. But that is not an excuse to hate on anybody. Um, so yeah, just give them time. As I've mentioned before, I kind of like that they're not giving any indication as to when they're going to make their comeback. Because now, as you can see, a lot of groups are like, a lot of agencies are lost. They don't know when to release when to do a comeback for their group, because BTS seems to not be doing anything. I kind of like that. Like, do your thing. Like, release your album, do your tour, do your shows, release whatever it is that you want to release, so that when BTS actually makes a comeback, it'll just be them. Because the last thing I want is for their name to be used to promote someone else. So, good planning for BTS. I think it's a good strategy, and I really want them to continue not saying anything until like a month before or 2 weeks before. Okay. Kathy, remember the video I sent you on Patreon? Please be careful in those shoes. That's going to 100% happen to me. JK and Jimin were going to come out of the military either closer than ever or hating each other. Seems to me they're the former. Yeah, which they were warned about, right? Like, Jin actually warned about that. J-Hope warned them about that. They were it was either going to destroy their relationship, or actually they were like, this is going to destroy your relationship. And no, it didn't. They ended up being closer together. I'm happy for that. I mean, these boys, they're so successful that when you get to that stature, it's really difficult to find the right people that will be with you through thick or thin. And now we've seen that happen with the Beatles. They themselves said that the reason the bond was actually never really formally broken, even when they were fighting, is that they kind of knew that nobody else in this world, not even their wives, knew how it was to be a Beatle. So, like, nobody else can relate to that experience but them. So for these boys to have each other forever, knowing that they went through it together, they don't need to explain, they don't need to. I think it's beautiful. So let's just nurture. Help in nurturing their relationship by allowing them their privacy, giving them their time, and then when they are ready, hopefully by then all these other groups that are trying to leech on their success will be done. Then it will just be about BTS. I like it that they're not actually sending any kind of indication as to when they're going to do their comeback. I love it that way. Okay, in the meantime, let's try to save money. Okay, we are past 2 hours. I will have to go. Thank you for being with me, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Let me know if you have any topics that you want me to cover, anything that you want me to talk about. There are 2 topics that I wasn't able to cover for this one, so I'll do it next week. Thank you. Fairlane, did you decide on an outfit to wear? Does it match the shoes? I just have that headgear, although I found a better headgear. Okay, bye.